Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about it. And I'm making this video because I want to touch on the topic of how I believe Travelers Insurance funded Canada's most corrupted family court case in Canadian history by entertaining a fraudulent home insurance claim that my ex submitted. And that's exactly what they did, okay? I'm going to make this video quick and I'm going to get straight to the point, okay? Because Travelers Insurance dished out $10,000 for items that my ex claimed that were damaged and broken by me, which they never were. How I know about this was at that 2-day rigged trial before Justice Michael Gibson, who forced me to go to this proceeding on a restraining order application that was never properly signed, that court services accepted, forced to go to a trial without a trial schedule endorsement form ever filled out, served, and filed. This judge seen a police report and a landlord-tenant eviction application where my ex admitted I was renting her basement, which she allowed me to move in one day after her tenant moved out. That's something else. That's something also she lied about and went right over Justice Gibson's head. He also refused to look into this further. My ex, her 4 or 5 witnesses, they all claim she never rented the basement. Well, Kim Bornerick e-transferred her $1,400 every month for 1 year for her daughter to live there. And I moved in this basement rental unit one day after her tenant moved out. The amount of fraud and judicial perjury that's wrapped up in this family court case and all these Kitchener-Waterloo courthouse proceedings, it's fucking insane. These judges know it, these court administrators know it, and especially these prosecutors, Armin Sethi, Wilson Lim, Alana, they all know what happened. And they're all protecting one another because that's what the Attorney General's office does. But I'm saying right now, and I can back this up with every bit of evidence I have, and again, I've got nothing to gain, to mislead or lie to the public, but there is no but Travelers Insurance funded Canada's most corrupted family court case in Canadian history. And how did they do that? Well, like I said, they gave my ex a $10,000 check for a $4,000 stove that I later found out about. She got paid for blinds. She got paid for flooring. She got paid for a wheelbarrow. And yes, I did damage I damaged a door because I was illegally evicted. I kicked in a door in front of the Waterloo Region Police because it was illegal eviction where John David Ekpenyong directed my ex to evict me out of this rental unit. Robert Petchet of the Landlord-Tenant Board knew about this. He knew that it was wrong. He still let that proceeding go through. And basically, there was an electrical panel that electrician who damaged my property during part of the renovation. I left a little message for him, so I admitted to that. But here's where I can confidently say that Travelers Insurance is trying to cover up this fraudulent home insurance claim, and they really are. I went in to speak to 2 investigators, Donald Forgan and Ian Smith. I spoke to these 2 for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and it was clear as day that this was a fraudulent home insurance claim. And they at the end of that interview, they never updated me. In fact, and mind you, this was also brought up to the CEO's attention, Heather Masterson and Angie Morris, VP and General Counsel. She's also the Chief Compliance Officer. So after that whole interview, or during that interview, I told Donald and Ian is a Donald is a former police officer. He's a former investigator. He's a former homicide detective. Well, I told him that I was going to get a copy. I wanted a copy of this audio recording. When I got back this audio recording, I could tell something was not right with the audio recording. I'm convinced they tampered with this audio recording. The frequency sounds like it's cranked up, and it honestly sounds like I'm on a spaceship. In this video, I will be playing a little snippet of that. I did put the full interview up on another video, but somebody from the government requested 30 of my YouTube videos to be not viewed in Canada. And as of right now, through a freedom of information, it's no one within the Attorney General's office, which quite frankly, I don't believe. It's under an appeal. And I'm starting to think it was John David Ekpenyong who lied to YouTube and said he was a government official and got away with it. The problem with dealing with YouTube's customer service, it's like talking to someone to a wall. You can't, if you guys know, if you're trying to get a hold of customer service at YouTube, it's near impossible. Half of their correspondence is AI. The only way that I could have found out who made this request is if I made a request to their privacy officer, which YouTube will not release. It was such a headache trying to just simply figure out who made the request, trying to appeal it with YouTube. And as of right now, I believe it was John David Ekpenyong who lied to YouTube, impersonating a government employee. And he's trying to cover up all this shady shit he did, including engaging in all this fraud and judicial perjury that he has committed at this Kitchener-Waterloo courthouse. The Waterloo Region Police knows about this home insurance fraud. I spoke to Sergeant Linda Chamberlain that one time, who got snarky with me over the phone, refused to investigate, and told me, quote unquote, the Waterloo Region Police don't investigate home insurance fraud. And that's when she pretty much told me to kick rocks and go file a complaint with LICA, which I did. And of course, they dismissed it, like they do with their whole other 95% of complaints that they've dismissed. The Insurance Bureau of Canada was absolutely useless. They never took this information serious. Basically, Justice Michael Gibson knows about this. He refused to investigate it because at that rigged family court proceeding, this was page 9 of 12. So at that trial, I found out she had this claim. This home insurance claim, and it was like, what was damaged? And they started talking about it. There was no pictures, there was no exhibits. I filed a private prosecution, and no, they do not work. They're an absolute waste of time, especially when you've got Crown attorneys like Armin Sethi, who has compelling evidence of judicial perjury and fraud. And what does she do? She tells her co-worker, that junior assistant Crown attorney, Wilson Lim, to stay the proceedings. So these two Crown attorneys, 3 if you include Alana, are fully aware of these crimes committed under the Canadian Criminal Code, and yet they are turning a blind eye, and they are protecting the family court judge because all of these misconducts and corruption and crimes that took place within that courthouse all fall under that trial judge, who was Justice Michael Gibson. So I am convinced that Travelers Insurance, they funded Canada's most corrupted family court case in Canadian history. How did they do that? Well, they entertained a fraudulent home insurance claim. They paid it out, which was $10,000. My ex then took $7,000 of that plus HST and allegedly paid John David Ekpenyong a block fee for that family court proceeding, that one that I was unlawfully dragged into. After I lost that 2-day rigged trial, Ekpenyong requested for $160,000 in fraudulent court costs. Okay, so not only did Justice Michael Gibson entertain a fraudulent court cost request because he knew they only paid $7,000 and it was on an affidavit, but then he ordered me to pay $60,000. So my ex, DW, her crooked, shady lawyer, John David Ekpenyong, they received funds from, they got court cost. It was a court order court cost from submitting a fraudulent court cost request from a proceeding that was paid from this fraudulent home insurance claim. So Donald Forgan, former Hamilton police officer, former investigator, is fully aware of all this information. He is protecting He is aiding and abetting this home insurance fraud. Ian Smith, he's also part of them. And I have to play this audio recording because I after speaking to multiple sound engineers, forensic audio experts, okay, they're telling me that the audio, I can get an audio, a forensic report done, but they're telling me after a soft launch that the frequency is cranked up so high that they can't fully clean up the audio recording. Because the whole point is, I want to share this audio recording with everybody, but the version I have now, you can barely understand it. Like I said, it sounds like I'm on a fucking spaceship. Why? Because Travelers Insurance, I believe, tampered with that audio recording. Okay? This wasn't some little Mickey Mouse investigator. This was a 40-year plus senior investigator, Donald Forgan and Ian Smith, who interviewed me, who confirmed I did not damage these items that my ex got paid for. I did not break them, and she never replaced them. So if you're a client from home insurance for Travelers Insurance, I would be fucking livid mad, and I would be trying to get a class action lawsuit against Travelers Insurance. Because if they can do it to me, they've done it to other people. Okay? Where these alleged, you know what? My ex straight up lied to the courts. John David Ekpenyong straight up lied to the courts. My ex straight up lied to Travelers Insurance and got paid for items that I never damaged. This says, you know, the Waterloo Regional Police refused to investigate. The Insurance Bureau of Canada refuses to investigate. Travelers Insurance, Heather Masterson, CEO, and Angie Morris, VP, their general counsel, they were all included on the email, so they know what's going on. So if you're a paying customer of Travelers Insurance, I would be pissed off. I'm gonna keep this video short. I'm gonna get right into this audio recording. I want you guys to hear this, and I want you to tell me, let me know in the comments, do you think that these investigators tampered with the audio recording? Because I told them I was going to share it with the public. So I am convinced they tampered with it so it could not be heard clearly. Okay? This is major corruption going on in the Kitchener Waterloo Courthouse. This is major corruption now tangled into the Waterloo Region Police, Travelers Insurance, the Ministry Attorney General, a handful of these exhibits that were submitted before going into that family court trial were never submitted with an affidavit. Okay, it was nothing but a sloppy shit show of a family court proceeding. Okay, and we need to expose this situation. I need more people talking about this situation I'm in, so we can expose every single person that engaged in corruption, that engaged in misconduct, that supported, aided, and abetted all this fraud, all this judicial perjury. So I'm going to stop the video right there. Guys, check out this audio recording and let me know in the comments if you think these investigators at Travelers Insurance or somebody tampered with this audio recording. Because to me, I can't get over it. It sounds like I'm on a fucking spaceship, like I said. It's all these weird sounds. I must have cranked up the frequency. Okay, check out the audio recording and let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. And you know what? Collectively, let's hold these abusive public servants accountable who are getting paid on our dime and who are caught screwing around and destroying innocent lives. That's why I started this channel, okay? So check out the audio recording and let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Email on April 8th, 2022. Hey, I moved all my belongings, so thank you for helping me out, da-da-da-da. Never contacted her ever since.
You still have the email?
Correct. Yes, it was an exhibit at the family court.
It was?
Yes.
Okay. How did you communicate with her? Was it all by email or was it some by text?
Emails, texts, yeah.
Okay. Do you still have text messages?
I believe so. Yeah, there's
one big long thread?
It should be, yeah.
Was that answered definitely?
I believe so.
Okay.
You know, this is the thing too. Whether we were talking about, the thing is that at the end of the day, I was renting that basement. So there can be all this. I sent her emails, like whatever, and it was like, you know, it can be misinterpreted, but I was, at the end of the day, I was paying rent, I had my own unit, I had everything as, you know, everything as a unit is. I went to the landlord-tenant board, I got railroaded there, basically her lawyer caused all these adjournments, and basically we went to, like, the crap I've gone through with this freaking courthouse, and it's all stemming from this. They admitted on an affidavit they paid $7,000 block fee for this family court proceeding. Around the same time, she got a $10,000 check or a $9,000 check from Travelers. When they would not let me on this family court matter, I sent offers to settle left, right, and center. I lost 3 Mason jobs over this. Sorry, I made a point. And basically, I was forced to go to that trial, and a judge, this Martha Ann Sweetie, who's being investigated. This is, you know, there's a lot going to be coming out of this. And she had filled out a trial schedule endorsement form, which she should never. It's Rule 17, Sub-Rule 11, that parties must fill it out, not a judge. They had rejected it 3 times. This judge had rejected this form twice. We go there in November 2023. She rejected it again. She filled it out on their behalf.
Okay, Daniel, I need to try and get a focus on the damage.
Yes, okay, correct, yes.
Okay, but that brings a point. You were ordered to pay
$60,000. But here's the thing is this, and I have this affidavit where they admitted it was on a unsigned commission affidavit, just like this friggin' application, that they admitted to paying $7,000. The judge knew that. When it was time to submit costs, they requested for $160,000 of money never paid, hours never worked, money never exchanged hands. This judge ordered me to pay $60,000 3 days after my 40th birthday.
What was the $60,000 for?
For court costs.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to the damage.
Okay.
Okay. At any time during your tenancy there, is there damage to the vinyl plank flooring?
No.
Any wear and tear?
There might have been. That's the thing. I remember seeing a picture of the vinyl flooring, and there was like a little chip out of it.
Yeah.
So it might have been. It wasn't like an eyesore. Like, so I don't recall then or now. Like, and if anything, if I did cause it, it was an accident. Like, I don't remember dropping everything. Holy shit! I just tripped the floor. I could have put wood filler in or something. You know, it was like.